Good evening, everyone. It is now 6 o'clock on September 23rd. This is the regularly scheduled meeting of the Sandwich Board of Appeals. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. The Board of Appeals is comprised of 5 regular members and 1 alternate member. The Board of Appeals can have up to 4 alternate members. Any decision of this board requires a 2/3 vote. 2/3 of 5 is 4. If only 4 members vote, the vote would have to be unanimous. If 5 members vote, 1 member could dissent. This meeting is live and streamed on Sandwich Community Television's website and on local channel 9. The meeting is being recorded and will be available on SCTV website at www.sandwichtv.org tomorrow. I'll ask if anyone's recording this, but there's no one in the room to record it. Okay. So none. Can I get a motion to approve the minutes of September 9th as written?
So moved. Second.
All in favor? Aye. Okay. The only item on the agenda tonight is old business, 25-09, 101 North Shore Boulevard, special permit for Forbes. It has been continued till tonight for the purpose of demolition construction in the floodplain. So, okay. We did receive documents from Ann Schnevitz, North Shore Boulevard elevation submitted by Ann, and the revised plan for the tear down and rebuild dated September 12th, 2025. And I'm just going to start with Steve. Any comments from you or updates from you on this?
Just knowing the new material. So Ann's providing a look at the dune elevation throughout the neighborhood, the highlighted topographic map, the new elevations and plot plan documents on file.
Ian, any comment from you?
No comment.
Okay. All right, Mr. Wall. We'll open it up to you to move forward here.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. For the record, my name is Brian Wall. I'm an attorney, and I'm representing the applicants in this matter, Matthew and April Forbes. And with me is Ann McNevich. We have been before you twice before. We were here 2 weeks ago, so unless the board wants me, I won't represent the whole project. It's essentially a proposal to raise, as an RAZE, 2 existing non-conforming cottages that are situated at the crest of the dune and a garage that's situated close to the front yard. And replace the 2 dwellings with 1 new one and replace the garage with a shed farther back from the road. The last time that we were here, we ended up talking about the elevated boardwalk that is used as or will be used as a means of access to the new structures. And there was a concern expressed by members of the board that that could be considered to be a new structure and therefore would require a variance. And so what we did was we revised the plan to make the walkway 1 linear connected walkway. So our contention now is it's actually part of the replacement structure. So we think that it can fit under the rubric of it's part of the special permit at this particular point. We had kind of talked at length about the height issues, and we had submitted some new information the last time, but since we continued because of the boardwalk, we took the opportunity to develop some additional information, and Ann's going to present that now.
Okay. So when I was here last time, there was some question about, if the dune gets higher and there's houses that are going to be overwhelming. But having worked out there for decades, you can see what I did was I copied the GIS, and between this line and this line is elevation 20 and elevation 20. And then any point underneath the new house, you have to take that the highest elevation underneath it. So if you look between these 2 lines, you're going to see it runs between 22, 23, and 24 for an elevation. So basically, most houses are going to be all the same because we're starting off at the same point. And then you have the maximum height, which generally I run between 31 and a half to 33 and a half. So basically, the ridges are all going to come about the same, give or take 2 feet, depending on how high your dune goes. There's a few areas, the college colonies, they have paved parking areas, so the dune has not been able to grow, which is a no-no, but they can't do anything about it until we start redeveloping those. And the only other area, so that's another one with the pavement, and then at the very, very end, there's some that are at elevation 16, which still have to be brought up to 19, and they have their own height restriction down there. They're 30 feet from the ground, so they're in trouble. They're not gonna build much down there if you're gonna bring it to the, so the whole idea is to get everything 2 feet off the sand and everything above the velocity zone. And basically, that's how we have to work.
And in this case, you had mentioned that an additional 3 feet required by the state because of the new law with the dune.
Right, it used to be 2 feet above velocity, which velocity zone in this area is elevation 16. Now we have to be 3 feet. So all of these in the front, the lower ones, the 19 is gonna come into play because some of them are lower than the 19. You know, so, but all the ones on the highest peak, basically 2 to 4 feet difference at the most.
Gotcha.
Okay. Kevin, did you understand, you know?
Any questions
What I was
from the
making?
board for?
I guess my own, the existing building you say is at 16, so right off the bat, this building is gonna be 8 feet higher.
No, if you're in this yellow area, which is what we're debating now,
But we're not in the yellow area now, right? We're at 16 elevation. right?
no.
I'm looking at this thing here.
My house is at, I think 20,
Where the block is that the lot we're talking about?
no, not necessarily. Those blocks are there so that you can actually print it. You have to click on something to print.
Oh,
So
this-
we're at 20, I believe it's 23.5. Here's 101. Hang on a minute. I looked at this so many times.
No, it's this one here. It's not.
I see it.
I guess I'm just confused.
Yeah, with the numbers, so
Easily confused.
don't pay attention to the blocks because that's the only way I could get it to print.
This blue mark here has got nothing to do with it.
No, if you don't click on something, you can't print the map. So I just went down and kept moving down.
I got you.
So I'm just looking for.
Could I, while Wayne's doing that, if I could also suggest, Kevin, there's a side profile on page 2 of the plan. I don't know if you saw that, but it shows where the existing grade is. Sorry, I didn't bring a poster board, but it shows the existing grade, the dashed line, and it shows where the house is gonna be. And so you can see that it is above the line, obviously, but only a little bit. For example, there's an elevation where the boardwalk, the elevated boardwalk is located at 22.2, and the top of the deck is at 27.1, so it's less than 5 feet higher than.
Where are the existing structures on this?
Here, I'll show you. Right there. So that's elevation 22.
Yeah.
And then elevation 22 runs in the back, but elevation 23 runs through the buildings. Yeah, and the picture with the threshold showed what the shots were done. So basically, I'm at 23. All these houses roughly 23. Or 23.5, depending. You don't know until you actually shoot. So we assumed, 23.5. And then you can see some of them, like here's 24. These are all 22. And there's a couple, I think, 24, 26, but it ends up between, 26 is there. You can't build there anyways.
Okay, so the only variable is how much of a house you want to build on that, in that area. Right?
Correct. So what happens is you start at the pile, which will be determined by, with this one, it's 23.5, 2 feet. So that's 25.5. And then the first floor of the house is 2 feet above the pile because you got a beam cap and then you got your joist. give or take an inch or two, depending what size joist you use. And then you go from there. The gambrels, which I seem to be doing quite a bit now, and this one will tend to be a little bit higher than straight colonial, just because of the architectural value of it. But they all have to meet. I try not to go over 33.6. I like living in my house.
Any other questions from members of the board about the walk or the need for a variance or anything else?
No, they seem to have addressed all the questions we had. Why?
Okay. There's no one here from the public to speak to this, so I'll take a motion to close.
So moved.
Second. All in favor? Aye. All right, we will be deliberating on this. No new business, board discussion. We have none, so we'll move on to deliberations with Mr. Killian.
Okay, the procedural history. This is an application for a special permit which was submitted pursuant to section 1330, 2420, and 4300 of the zoning bylaw for property located at 101 North Shore Boulevard, which was filed on June 20th, 2025. After proper notice was given, a hearing was opened on July 22nd and closed on September 23rd, 2025. The application was accompanied by, among other things, a site plan entitled Plot Plan Number 101 North Shore Boulevard, Parcel ID 70-096, Sandwich, Massachusetts, dated February 10th, 2025. Revised plot plan sheets bearing the latest revision, date 9/12/2025, were submitted with additional materials on September 15th, 2025. The board reviewed the application and all of the materials submitted prior to the close of the public hearing. The board received and gave due consideration to the testimony given at the public hearing. Following members attended: Neven, Terrio, Killian, Van Buskirk, and Corain. Just a note, Mr. Neven did not attend August 26th meeting, but listened to the audio, full recording, and reviewed all the materials in the project file, which allows the member to participate in deliberations for the decision under Mass General Law, Chapter 49, after the affidavit was received on September 9th, 2025. Findings: the application meets the requirements of Section 9, Mass General Law, Chapter 48. The applicant is seeking a special permit in accordance with Section 4350, Section 2 of the bylaw in order to raise two non-conforming two-bedroom dwellings and construct a new four-bedroom dwelling. Subject property is located within the Shore Zoning District and the Floodplain Overlay District. Subject property consists of no upland area and 18,051 square feet of barrier beach, coastal dune, and land subject to coastal, is that coastal stone flowage? Is that correct?
Coastal storm.
Coastal stone, got it. And 50 feet of frontage. The lot is located in a special flood hazard area, the velocity zone, currently at elevation VE 16. The project reduces a non-conformity by increasing building setback from the road. The project eliminates a non-conformity arising from two dwellings on one lot without a special permit. The board finds that the project meets requirements for construction in the floodplain in that the habitable area is elevated above the flood zone, but that the structural elements, parentheses pilings, and accessory structures will be constructed within the floodplain. The board finds that the proposed structures increase the non-conforming nature of the parcel by more than 30%, and the project extends a pre-existing non-conforming use of the parcel. Approximately 70 cubic yards of fill will be brought to the site and placed in the floodplain, necessitating a special permit pursuant to Section 4390. Section 1330 requirements: the board does not find that there are conditions peculiar to this case, but not generally true to similar permitted uses on other sites in the same district. The board finds that nuisance, hazard, or congestion will not be created. The board finds that there will not be substantial harm to the neighborhood. The board finds that there is no derogation from the intent of the bylaw, such that the district's objectives will be satisfied. Section 4350, Section 2 requirements. The Board of Appeals finds that the susceptibility of the proposed facility and the contents to flood damage and the effect of such damage on the site and surrounding property is minimal. The board finds that there are not alternative locations for the proposed use which are not subject to flooding or erosion. The board finds necessity to the facility of a waterfront location. The board finds that the relief requested is the minimum necessary. Is there anything further for findings?
I don't have anything.
No, unless you want to get into any of the other top of filing numbers.
No, I don't think we need to.
Okay, I will move the findings.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Conditions. At the public hearing, the board considered potential conditions of approval for the special permit. The board voted that the following conditions of approval shall be imposed upon any approval of a special permit, and that these conditions are reasonable, and that the applicant and its successor in interest shall be bound by these conditions. Failure to comply with the conditions set forth in the decision shall terminate the grant of the special permit. Pursuant to the requirements of Sandwich Protective Zoning Bylaw, Section 1330, a grant of a special permit shall expire upon transfer of ownership prior to initiation of substantial construction on or occupancy of the site, unless such transfer is authorized in this permit, or if no substantial construction or occupancy takes place within 3 years of a special permit approval, excluding such time required to pursue or await the determination of an appeal referred to Mass General Law, Chapter 40A, Section 17. Special permit shall not take effect until it's recorded at the Barnstable County Registry of Deeds, and a copy of the recorded special permit is provided to the Board of Appeals. Erosion controls must be in place prior to construction and maintained until a certificate of completion is issued by the building department. Anything further on conditions? I have nothing.
I have nothing either.
Should be a condition that it be constructed in accordance with the order of conditions that has been issued by the Conservation Commission.
We can certainly add that.
Is that necessary? It's usually in there, isn't it?
I don't know. Call specifically.
I suppose it goes without saying.
Property shall be constructed in accordance with the order of conditions approved by the Conservation Commission.
Sounds good.
Satisfactory? Okay. Anything further? And I will move these conditions.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, the decision, after reviewing the application, the plan, and other materials submitted, and after giving due consideration to testimony given at the public hearing, the board hereby approves the special permit for property located at 101 North Shore Boulevard, as shown on Assessor's Map 70, parcel 96, for the purpose of constructing a single-family dwelling in the floodplain overlay district. I will move to approve the special permit.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, thank you for all your time.
Thank you, everyone, for your time. Appreciate it.
All right, we have no other matters not reasonably anticipated, so I'll take a motion to adjourn.
So moved. Second.
All in favor? Aye. All right, thank you, gentlemen.